Good morning, everybody. Today's shir is sponsored by the Welcher family from South Africa. Lidu Nishmas Achoisenu Ahuva. Her name is Tichya Hinda Bas Elchanan Yosef Alea Shalom. Her neshama should have an aliyah. Brian Sand, hi Rabbi. Look, I'm gonna change. I'll say turn the daf or turn the Amud Beis. If the Olam stops saying Rabbi and Yosef stops calling me Reb Eli. Hi Rabbi, I hope that you and your family, it's Eli. I hope that you and your family are well. I listen to your 8-minute daf every day, and when it doesn't come in, I try to listen to the full daf. I know you're located in Bet Shemesh, which is located in Israel, 7 hours ahead of me, here in Woodmere, New York. Another Woodmere. Maybe it's Kalman's friend, who knows? Listen, he has a whole chabura going. Nachman, are you listening to this email, or what's going on? Yeah? You're disturbing the email. You're missing out. Good stuff. Lately on Fridays, I've been getting a WhatsApp on the 8-minute daf. 5 hours or so after Shabbos has already begun in Bet Shemesh. On other days, it comes in between 11 and 1 a.m. my time. I assume that you sometimes stateside handling this. No. So what's going on is there's Yosef Bilyak. He does the sending of Rabbi Isai. We're trying to conduct the shir here. This is going to be. See. Hold on. He's beautiful. Maybe it's upside down. No, it's this way. Yeah. In English, that way. Beautiful. Wow. Psh. Who's 100 years old? 100 daf. No, we're not at 101. We're in daf 101, which is 100 daf. By the way, there's a guy that was asking. I'm not kidding. He's already with the program, but you could ask Yosef. A couple people asked Yosef, everything is good, but where's daf 1? They didn't get the 8-minute daf 1 on Shabbos or brachas, whatever it was. But fine. So Yosef sends out around, I think it's close to 15,000. I send out 1,000 from my phone, and he sends out whatever it is. And it takes many hours for the WhatsApp to be delivered. Because the way WhatsApp works, they only allow you to do some groups. So he has a certain program, so he puts it in, and Erev Shabbos is a very difficult day to record. So if the video does come out, he gets it very late before Shabbos, and by the time people get it, it's 5 hours into Shabbos in America. We have to do something about it. It's probably not a good idea, but just in case you wonder if somebody's Mechal Shabbos in Ramah Bet Shemesh sending out the daf, that's not the case. This should probably be, okay, better. Thank you for allowing me to participate in Daf Yomi with much less effort than I thought was required. Keep up the good work. That's the first. So Brian Sand says Daf Yomi is not that difficult if you do it with us. Givaldik. Listen to this one from Moshe Hirsch. I'm not sure where he's from. Last Thursday, the sponsorship was for someone's wife. And I thought to myself, that's such a beautiful thing. I speak for myself, though. I'm sure many can identify that everything I have is because of my wife. I can't go into details, but let's just say that I mean it 100%. Shali v'shalachem shalahu. We have yard sites and birthdays. I think we should start giving for our wives, too. I'm 100% with this guy. Rabbi Isai, if you don't sponsor a shir, covet your wife, that means you don't appreciate your wife. So each and every one, I want to see you start sponsoring you for your wife. My wife for sure, 100%. Shali v'shalachem shalahu. L'schus Elisheva Bas Chana. He's sponsoring today's shir. L'schus Elisheva Bas Chana. She should be zoicha to many healthy and happy years and build a beautiful Erlich family. Thank you, Moshe Hirsch. Gevaldik, beautiful, Moshe. I'm going to start a new thing. I want to see that the appreciation for the wives, starting with me. Tomorrow's shir is sponsored. Look up with my wife. All right. Yeah? What's going on here? Shkoyach. We are holding Daf Kuf Amud Beis. Omalei Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, 5 lines from the bottom. Omalei Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, l'Rav Chia bar Ovin, l'Rav Chizdu, l'Rav bar Rav Huna dar Meroisa Mokim Arba Memali. We had a beautiful sugya where a person makes, let's see if I have it here. I think I brought it with me. Yeah, for a different sugya. Luckily I brought it. A person makes a frame 4 by 4 in order to draw water from the ocean, the lake. And we said that these walls, halachically, imaginary walls, go down into the water. Good achis mechissa. So he says, Shoivchen didei hechi shadilahu. Interesting. Rashi says, what does shoivchen mean? We usually say shoivchen, ma'im roim, disgusting water, says Rashi. Kigoin, you would think it means wastewater. Says Rashi, kigoin rechitzas kaisois ukaris, dishwashing water. Okay, maybe it means even dishwashing water. The Rabbeinu Chanal on the side says it means literally wastewater, because that's what you have on a ship. How do you toss it off the board of a ship on Shabbos? Now, says the Gemara, okay, use the same frame and everything is great. Me'isilei. Why is it Mos? You're drawing water to drink from the same spot that you're putting your wastewater. It doesn't work well, right? Like my roommate in Passaic, we had a kitchen so he, instead of taking the extra 5 feet to go to the bathroom, used to use the sink in the kitchen. So I could never drink water from that sink. It was Moisley. The water came out of the spigot and he did it somewhere else. The whole area became Mos. Back in yeshiva days. What? Yeah. Akol Panim, says the Gemara, the Shadilu Adafna the Sfina. What he could do is, okay, Yeshua, I think I'm done with this balloon first. I feel like people are coming behind me and attacking me. I see this thing even more. Shkayach. Whatever, we got the idea. It's 100. Okay, fine. So, he takes the water, pours it on the wall of the ship, and therefore what? It's indirect power. It's not his power. He didn't pour it into the ocean. He poured it on the wall, and from the wall, Shalom Aleichem, it goes down the wall into the ocean. Okay, so it's called koichai. Vayika koichai. So it's indirect, but it's still a problem. Says the Gemara, koichai bekarmelis legazru. Since you're pouring it into the ocean, and the ocean is a karmelis, not a big deal. And how do you know this concept that when it comes to karmelis, we don't care about koichai? The Sanya, Sfina, ein metaltalin loy metoicha layam, veloy minayam letoicha. You don't go from the Sfina, which is a Rishus HaYachid, to the ocean, which is a karmelis. Veloy miyam, you don't go from the karmelis, letoicha, to the Sfina. Oy simin toivu, mazel toivu, mazel. I'll sing by myself. Toiv yei lanu l'chol Yisrael. Simin toivu, mazel toivu, mazel toivu, simin toiv yei lanu l'chol Yisrael. Simin toivu, mazel toivu, mazel toivu, simin toiv yei lanu l'chol Yisrael. Simin toivu, mazel toivu, mazel toivu, simin toiv yei lanu. Did it da 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 da? Did it da 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 da? Ma da 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 da? Did it da 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 da? Did it da da da? Did it da 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 da? Did it da? 100 daf into Shabbos. Beautiful, unbelievable. In a typical Masechta, this would be a siyum and more, but we have to wait another 56 days or so. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, smack in middle bin Azmanim. Does anybody have bin Azmanim plans? I have to refigure my bin Azmanim now. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, amuka asara ve'ein gevoya asara. By the way, if anybody has a great idea how to make a siyum, we want to do something on Shabbos because it's Masechta Shabbos. We're thinking about going away to a hotel, but it requires over 100 rooms probably. And so if anybody has a good idea, let us know. What? Oinik Shabbos. Oinik Shabbos. I'm talking about something serious. You're telling me Oinik Shabbos. a cruise. We're on the Kinneret. Oh, we should go now on our cruise instead of Shas? I don't think so. We made a cheshbon, it's $10 billion. We don't have enough time to raise that. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, top of the Kuf Aleph Omad Aleph. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's pick it up. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Amuka Asara ve'en Gavoya Asara. If this boat has a depth inside it of 10 tfachim, but outside it sits low in the water, you don't have these 10 tfachim. Now Rashi says an amazing thing here. Rashi says that if the boat was 10 tfachim above the water, it wouldn't be a problem. Why? Because you're going from a Carmelis and you're going above 10 tfachim. Above 10 tfachim is a Makom P'tur. And to go from a Carmelis through a Makom P'tur into your boat, which is a Rishus HaYachid, is not a problem. To go from a Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim through a Makom P'tur, that's a problem. But to go from a Carmelis, make a stopover above 10 tfachim, which is a Makom P'tur, into the boat, not a problem. So we're talking about En Gavoya Asara. The boat is not 10 tfachim high. You could go from the boat in only one direction. You go from the boat outwards. But not from the ocean to the boat. Maishna as the Gemara, we have to explain. Because since the boat is less than 10 tfachim, now you're going not through a Makom P'tur. You're going from Carmelis directly into Rishus HaYachid. It's Asur. So in the opposite direction, also you're going from the boat, which is Rishus HaYachid, to a Carmelis. It should be Asur. Ella lavachuda. We're talking about you're pouring it onto the edge of the boat. The same exact case that we're talking about. In other words, koichai. You're doing an indirect tiltal. Now that you could only do if you're standing high up and pouring downwards. Gravity is going to pull your water into the ocean. But if you're in the ocean, you can't do koichai upwards. What are you going to do? Spray the water onto the wall of the boat and expect it to go into the boat? That doesn't work. The only way you can do it is actually physically carrying it, and that is asur. Shmamina koichai bekarmelis loy gazru. And over here you see the concept that when it comes to a karmelis, we don't care that much about indirect carrying. That same carrying in another rishus, going from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim, would be a problem. But in Karmelis, we don't care. Omer Avuno, Hani Bitzaso Demeshon. You have, according to Rashi, we're talking about small boats, like a kayak, like a canoe, that come to a very narrow point. It goes almost to a zero. Right? So, something like this. You have a canoe, it goes very sharp. Now, here's the problem. The problem is for Rishus HaYachid to exist, you need to have 4 tfachim width and 10 tfachim height. The issue is that on the bottom where it comes to a point, you don't have 4 tfachim width. So what do you have in essence? You have a hanging wall. You have a wall and no bottom because the bottom comes to a point, and halachically, in order for it to be Rishus HaYachid, it needs to be 4 tfachim wide, and it's not 4 tfachim wide. The bottom of the boat, the bottom of your wall, it keeps on going, it gets narrower and narrower. At one point, it is 4 tfachim. But it doesn't, what? Because then you'll sink. He wants to know how come you don't do chayk again on a boat. You can't carve out a boat because it'll sink. I have no idea. Okay, the way chaykikim works is that if you have already the width at another area, you keep on going. So you're saying you already have the width at another area, chaykim. Now, you don't say chaykim according to everybody. According to Rabbanan, you don't say chaykim, only according to Rameir. Maybe that's the answer. That goes to explain a little bit what Noah was asking yesterday. You have to have a certain width, like by the doorway with the mezuzah. You have the width on the bottom, you continue that width up. You have a certain height, but you don't have the width on a wall. Yesterday we were saying on a wall also. I don't know how to explain it 100%. But you certainly don't say it in a pit, because in a pit, all you have is a depth. You don't create more depth. You create more width with chayikim. So there you're saying that it comes to a pit, okay, here. According to Rameh, would be a problem, maybe. Maybe. Says the Gemara, so you have these hanging walls. Now, if you have a hanging wall, so you don't have Rishus HaYachid. If you don't have Rishus HaYachid, what's the boat turn into? It's not a Rishus HaRabim. You don't have 600,000 people going through your canoe. It's not a Rishus HaYachid because you don't have 4 tfachim on the bottom. So it's a Carmelis. So if it's a Carmelis, you could only walk in your canoe 4 amas. So if your canoe is 5 amas long, you're not allowed to walk more than 4 amas. You have to stop. You're not allowed to be metaltal, not walk. You're not allowed to carry 4 amas. Yeah. I actually heard somebody saying that the boat is a Carmelis because it's in a Carmelis, like you're saying. Because it's in a ship.
You're saying in and of itself it's a Carmelis.
Yeah, why not? Maybe that's what the guy meant, that because there's no other Rishus, it just goes back to what the Rishus it's in the ocean. I don't know. I don't see anybody saying like that, but that's what he said. What?
Put your boat in the middle of the street, in the middle of a Rishus
Yeah.
Rabim, and you're inside your boat. Is
Yeah.
that a Carmelis now?
Yeah, why not? You can make your Rishus HaYachid in the middle of Rishus HaRabim. You take your car, it's Rishus HaYachid in the middle of Rishus HaRabim. You take a beam, you put it a 4 tfachim beam in the middle, that's Rishus HaYachid.
It's not Rishus HaRabim, it's not Rishus HaYachid, it's a Carmelis.
Yeah.
It doesn't become a Rishus HaYachid.
Let's do Rabbanan Rishus. Says the Gemara, Ein metaltem bohen elo ba'arba. Only 4 amas. V'lei amarin elo she'en b'pachas mishleisha arba. Now, because of the concept of lavod, so if it becomes narrower and narrower within 3 tfachim of the point of the boat, then I could say, listen, the whole boat is 4 tfachim wide. I don't care about the spitz of the boat because it's only 3 tfachim. Anything within 3 tfachim you could ignore. This whole halacha is because it's 4 tfachim, let's say, in this picture. It becomes narrow at the 4 tfachim point. There's more than 3 tfachim. More than 3 tfachim, I can't invoke lavud, and therefore it ruins my wall. But if it's lower down, if it's wide 4 tfachim, and it's only less than 3 tfachim to the point from where it's wide, then I could say lavud. Similarly, if I fill up the bottom with any material, I fill it up with cement, or if I don't want to sink my boat, I fill it up with reeds, something lightweight, but I filled it up, so now my wall goes straight to a flat surface, not to a point. Lavud would just pretend that this is full. That's all lavud does, as if it's full. Okay.
You don't have to fill it up to the floor. You can fill it up so as long as it's less than 3 tfachim.
No. You need that the wall, when it starts coming to an angle, there should be 4 tfachim at that point. It should never get narrow. You have to make sure it doesn't get narrow, because if it gets narrower than 4 tfachim, you lose your Rishus HaYachid at that point. There's no extending walls to the point where it's narrower than 4 tfachim. You need walls all the way down to the bottom of 4 tfachim.
Right, so I don't have to fill it all the way up to the full width of the floor. I only have to fill
No.
the 3 tfachim of it.
As long as your 10 tfachim wall, as long as your walls could get there. I need the walls. I need walls to hit those 3 tfachim.
But the middle picture, I only have to fill it up like the middle picture.
Right. The middle picture is perfect because there's 4 tfachim width within 3 tfachim of the point of the boat.
Putting the boat in the water,
What?
putting the boat in the water.
The boat is in the water, yeah.
How's he standing in the boat?
What do you mean? It's a canoe. What's the problem? What are you worried? That's going to tip over?
That's the bottom of the
That's the bottom of the boat. That's the bottom.
We're looking like a bird's eye view, or we're looking at
No, it's not.
No, it's the side. You're looking from the front of the boat. You're looking to the front. It's sitting in the boat. It's sitting in the water. Listen, this is Pirush Chai. He's not Yoni, but he does quick drawings and he makes not without color. I just add color to the picture. It's black and white. It's a cutaway from the front. You're looking at the front of the boat, but a cutout. Cross section. But if it's less than 3 tfachim to the bottom of the boat, it's not a problem. And if you filled up the bottom with reeds, it's not a problem. As Rav Nachman, let's say Gud Achis Mechista. You see these yellow lines? What do I care about this point? This point shouldn't bother me at all. This wall should continue downwards. Like we always say, it just continues downwards. Now, I had a little bit of a problem with it. I didn't see anybody discussing it, because to me, when I first drew it, I did Gudachitz Mechitzta from this way, like straight over here. And to me, it made more sense that Gudachitz just means you have a visual and you have imaginary walls going downwards. But it seems like they are saying that it goes down from that point where you can no longer go down. But to me, it's a little bit of a problem. I thought maybe Taisus talks about it, but it doesn't really. I didn't see, I don't know. I didn't understand Rashi like that. I don't think anybody understood Rashi like that. What? Because nobody holds of Chayikin besides Rameir. It's a Das Yochid. What? Which one? Migdeng Mizur Rachban Elyon Ulamato. Ulamato.
From the width of the top all the way down.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Halavai. But that's not how they learn in Rashi. Everybody. Whoever, I looked it up. I couldn't find anybody that says like that. And the Pirush Chai certainly doesn't learn it like that. Fine. Mi loy tanya. Rabbi Yosef, you'll remember this picture from all the way to the beginning of the Masechta. A guy takes a pole and he puts a basket on top of the pole, and you throw something on top of the basket, like a basketball, right? This is from the early days of basketball. So we say that even though this basket doesn't have 10 tefachim, it's considered Rosh Hashanah because you extend the walls of the basket all the way down. It's from Shabbos Daf Yomi. I don't know if you guys could search. You could say Gudachitz Mechitzta. Hachanami name of Gudachitz Mechitzta asks Rav Nachman. And if there's Gudachitz Mechitzta, so you no longer have those hanging walls. You have regular walls. You have a Rosh Hashanah, not a Carmelis. If you have a Rosh Hashanah, you can carry it within it. It's not a problem. Says the Gemara, Maskil Rav Yosef. Some say in there you forgot the end. The end is we don't hold of this basket extending downwards. What, you don't hold of Gudachis? Dalid ve'ein bi kari dalid. V'yesh because of shalosh shloisha. Here's the picture. According to Rashi, Taisus also, but we'll go Rashi. 4 tefachim wide, and it becomes narrower and narrower. So over here, shloisha, according to Rashi, means 3 high, not 3 wide. Taisus says 3 wide. Forget Taisus. Now we're going with Rashi. That above 3 tefachim from the ground, it's still narrower than 4. It doesn't go all the way down, it doesn't extend all the way down to the ground 4 tefachim and make it a solid Rosh Hashanah. At a certain point, it's only less than 4 tefachim. It becomes narrower. More than 3 tefachim. 3 tefachim is lavad. So more than 3 tefachim, you see over here, it's in the green. Let's say this, right over here is 3 tefachim. From here, higher is more than 3 tefachim. You have green, it becomes narrow. So over there, in this case, we say Gudachis. That these blue mechitzos go all the way down to the bottom. Why can't it what? Oh, the Gemara is going to explain it in a second. Alma amrinon Gudachis mechitzta. You say Gudachis mechitzta in this case. Hachanami Gudachis mechitzta. In my Gemara, there's a period over here. But, and also the way you would read typical Gemara, there should be a period here. Mida area is usually, what's the connection? What are you talking about? But no, Rashi says this is a continuation of Abaya. Abaya is going further. There's no period here. Abaya is just explaining. In the case of this, when it comes to a point like Shmuel's asking, so what's the problem? Look at these guys. These guys are like a bunch of goats. They don't care about what's they don't care about the imaginary walls. There's no imaginary wall for them. They're standing right under the imaginary wall. So what does that do to me? That removes the imaginary wall. There is no imaginary wall if the goat could go through. If I have a mechitza for my sukkah, and I say, okay, lavud, whatever, and a goat shows up in my sukkah, lavud ahin, lavud aher, it's not accomplishing anything. A goat is walking right through it. So look at these guys, they're standing right here by the beam under. So who cares about these imaginary mechitzas? At the end of the day, there's no mechitzas. You can't say halachically.
Every time you say love, that nothing will walk through. That's a tonight.
No, it's a tnai in the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, normal thing. It has to protect you somewhat. What's the protection? A gedi. Like I said, nowadays, a cat. If a cat just walks into your sukkah without even bending down, you don't have a mechitza for your sukkah. What is a mechitza of sukkah? Mechitza means it protects you from the elements outside. What does it protect you from? Normal animals running around. Now, yes, a bee is going to get in there, and ants are going to walk their way through. But halachically, it's a mechitza if a gedi can't go through. Now, what is the gather? We're talking about a gather here. Now, this case, Shmuel, the goats don't go through. It's different. They can't go through here, and for this little piece over here, they're not going to go and rub themselves on this. They're not going to bang themselves, says Rashi, on this part. If it's a very narrow thing, so Abaye makes a distinction. He says, look, if it's a narrow pole, the goats go through. I can't halachically imagine in my head that there's a mechitza because it's not accomplishing anything. But if it's pretty wide on the bottom, it's just not 4 tefachim, then I could extend it halachically and say I have a proper 4 tefachim mechitza all the way down. And by us also, in our case too, in a boat. Typically speaking, goats don't swim, and they're not going through my imaginary wall that Rav Nachman is asking. How come I don't have an imaginary wall on the boat? So what's the obvious question? What about fish?
We're saying Lavud and Budapest, different things.
Oh yeah, 100% is two different things. But the halacha Moshe Messina is imaginary. It's closing.
The whole din here, goats going down, but
Time out. 1 minute. In the Mishnah in Sukkah, you sure it's a 4 tefachim over there? Good achas. Okay, thank you. He's saying the Mishnah in Sukkah of goats is the good achas. Right. There's no gedolim. Correct. Okay. The strings that we do every 3 tefachim, yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so you have the sea creatures. You don't have goats, but you have fish. Says Rashi, you don't see them. If you don't see it, so you could still imagine it. But you can't imagine a mechitza when it's obvious that these cats are walking back and forth, these g'dayim are walking back and forth. I'll prove it to you. The Bayimine Rabbi Tavlim Meravin. Thank you. Umanot Eimra. The Bayimine, how do you know that you say this concept that this fish don't count? The Bayimine Rabbi Tavlim Meravin Mechitza Tluya Ma'u Shetate Bechurba. You have ruins. And a lot of times, the ruins happen to the point where the wall on the bottom falls down and the wall on top remains. Could I consider that wall as a wall for Rosh Hashanah? Say, hey, you're not allowed to go from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah, vice versa. Or say that I'm allowed to carry within Tatir, I'm allowed to carry within that churva. I don't have walls all that extending down to the bottom. We're turning the Amud to Amud Beis. Ela b'mayim. Well, I don't have a deal yet. If the Olam stops calling me rebelli, then we have a deal. Ela b'mayim. You don't know. These emails from all over the place. Ela b'mayim. Grammatically correct. This way, that way. Ela b'mayim. So, says Rashi. Rashi brings 2 cases, very interesting cases. I spent the time doing this stamp because I thought it was a cool picture. If there's a chutzner, 2 people share a chutzner and there's a pit in between. So this wall creates a mechitza. Even though it's hanging over the pit, it's hanging, it's not directly, it works. What else does Rashi say? Yeah, fine. Oh, you know what Rashi's talking about. Rashi's saying this case here. I don't have a good picture. There's beautiful pictures. I think I saw it somewhere. I forgot where I saw it. Maybe in a Yoni somewhere. But basically, if a guy lives on the water, he lives in Miami on the water, and he wants to take water out of the ocean on Shabbos, so from his porch, he can make one of these guys, one of these tricks. Now, you can't do that on anything else. You can't say, okay, I'm going to start passing things up from Rosh Hashanah into my house or whatever through a frame and say good aches, but for water we were makel. So that you could draw water and do your dishes and drink or whatever you want to do. So you see, kalu shekelu chacham mayim is a special halacha by water only. Yeah, you could pour, but we're saying that we said before that you shouldn't because it makes a mose. People don't like to. Why not? Yeah, that's better than what the. Yeah. Why? Because this is a physical. This is actually halacha k'lei mechitza. The way we said that you go to the or you pour the bathroom water overboard is on the side, but that's already it's a little bit of a problem because of koichai. And koichai we weren't geyser. This is much better eitzah than koichai. This is a halachic mechitza all the way down to the ocean. Kal shekel chacham b'may v'may voike b'kiyas dogim. Yeah, there's dogim. My son just sent me a video. I told you, he's stuck in Florida, Miami, stuck Nebuch, big Rechmanas. So first, when we were in Miami, he swam across the canal. We're on, if you ever been to Miami, Collins, so there's the ocean, the hotels, the canal, and then we live on the other side. We have the house on the canal. So he swam across the canal and came back. Very hard, it was tough. Now he shows me videos every day, sharks in the canal. The sharks, dolphins, sharks, all these things. He could dug him. Had he known, I don't think he would have swam there with the sharks. But the sharks right there. He thought, it's a little canal. It's not part of the ocean. It is. How could you make this guy, how can you make this device that goes all the way down and you're going to draw water from below the surface of the water, but this fish, and the fish ruin it. They should ruin the gudaches. Fish don't count. The same thing in above the ground would be very problematic if cats and goats and whatever go through. But not in the ocean, not in water. We don't care about fish that you don't see.
What about dolphins that come up above the water so you see them? You'll see them.
Good kasha. Dolphins that come, I don't know. What about people that swim across the ocean? I don't know. So they're going to go, but no, listen. The point is, as your boat is moving, you're saying in this case that a guy has one over his backyard. Yeah. No, they don't come in that area. They never come in that. They come like 10 feet off the shore. Sviras shurois. If you have two ships that are connected with some sort of something, they tie together, as we're going to see later. You can go from one to the other. The Gemara understands who owns these ships. One individual owns two ships. So Rosh Hashanah is own Rosh Hashanah, perfect. Pshita, what's the chiddush? Omer Rav alei nitzrucha elo lahater bitzas shebineim. You have that tiny boat that we're talking about, the canoe, right? In that picture, David was asking, what is it? Who is it? Listen, even if that picture has no shaykhs to anything, it's cool. No, brown, blue, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Why he took it off? As I'm talking about it. So you have two ships, two cruise ships, and then you have the tiny little pirate ship, whatever you want to call it, the canoe that goes between them. Now the canoe is not attached to the ships. The ships are connected, they're tied together. The bitzas, whatever you want to call it, the small guy is not connected at all. But you could go and travel, you could walk from you get off the cruise ship, go into the small guy, and climb up onto the big guy. Not a problem. The small one might slip away. You're going to have a problem? Not a problem. That's the chiddush. Then we're not concerned that it's going to slip away. Amalei Rav Safra, unbelievable lashon. Moshe. He called Rav a Moshe. In other words, you are the Gadol Hadar. It seems like nobody else was called Moshe. You ever seen Omer Rebbe Moshe? I think it was reserved for the Gadol Hadar. Moshe. Today everybody's a Moshe, even my Einakol. Moshe. Shabbat Kamras. You sure what you're saying is correct? It doesn't sound very good. Mitaltalim mizu lezutnan. Where is there a mention of a third boat here? It says mizu lezu, 1 + 1. Are you sticking in a third one? El Omer of Safra. In other words, it doesn't pass for Gadol Hadar to say such pshatim. That's what he's telling you. Moshe. So he comes up with a new pshat. We're talking about two owners that own two cruise ships. And we're talking about a chiddush to say that I can make an eruv from one ship to another ship. Yes, I'm very familiar with the concept that I can make an eruv from my house to your house. But two ships, what's the connection? Where's the doorway? What's going on here? Why should I be able to make from car to car? You guys, imagine. I want to make an eruv chatzeros between my minivan and your minivan. Maybe it doesn't work. Says the Mishnah, it works in ships. I don't know about minivans. In ships, it works. It says mefurish. This exact case, you have two ships that are tied together. Ma'arvin umetaltel mezuzah. Oh, I can make an eruv between two ships. Here's Rav Safra. Umetaltel mezuzah. After I make an eruv, I could carry from one to the other. Nifsiku, if the connection became undone, nesru, you can no longer walk from one to the other or carry from one to the other. Chazru v'nikshru, and then you went ahead and you tied it on Shabbos, bein shogigin, whether it was a mistake, you didn't realize it's Shabbos or that it's Asr. Ubein mezidin, whether you did it on purpose. You knew that it's Shabbos and it's Asr to make a knot. Bein anusin, you tried to tie your shoes, and by mistake, you tied two cruise ships together. Bein mutin, I'm not exactly sure that anusa means you try to tie something else, and by mistake, I'm not sure how that happens. Figure it out yourself. Whatever the case is, you have very, very big shoes. You're Shaquille O'Neal, size 28, and you have these giant cables that tie your shoes, and you tied your ship together. Whatever the thing is.
You were trying to tie that ship, you tied that ship.
No, but it's also on Shabbos. You're on Shabbos.
Yeah.
So how do you do it by oinus?
Not by oinus, but misasik.
But you're not allowed to do the other one either.
Right.
What do you gain? What do you gain?
That even though you're tying that one not on purpose, still makes it a
You try to tie ship A, and by mistake you tied ship B, and that makes it a misasik. But you try to do it as Shabbos. Let me see Rashi. I thought Rashi was saying that he was trying to do something else.
He's asking below after the kasha,
Right. He was trying to tie something else. Something else, not another ship. He's trying to tie another thing, like a shoe. Fine, whatever. Whatever the thing is. Dava acher lekashrei. He's something that's allowed to tie on Shabbos, I think, and he by mistake tied a ship. Bein mutin, or this is a misasik. This is a misasik. Mutin is a misasik. Mutin mudava acher lekashrei. Yeah. Okay. Chazru le'terin rishon. So now, since you tied it on Shabbos, now you have a good connection. You're allowed to carry there on Shabbos. V'chein machzolis haprusois. So the guy tried to set up a high-tech company in the middle of the FDR Drive, in the middle of a highway on a Rosh Hashanah. He brought his cubicles here. Imamish set up shop. So metaltalin ma'arvin u'metalin zuluzu. This is considered, you do an eruv, this guy set up his shop, you make an eruv, and you could carry from one to another. Niglalu, you rolled it up, it's no longer there, now it's back to Rosh Hashanah Nesru. Chazu v'nifrasu, and then you set it up on Shabbos, bein shogigin, bein mezidin, bein anusin, bein mutin, doesn't matter how it happened, chazru l'teir and rishon, you're allowed to carry there on Shabbos. Shekol mechitza shenasa b'Shabbos. Even though it's also to make a mechitza on Shabbos, but if you did it on Shabbos, it has halacha mechitza, and you can carry there. Eini v'omer Rav Nachman lishona lelizroik aval letaltel asur. Rav Nachman only says to throw. In other words, that there's only throwing aval letaltel asur to carry within there. In other words, to throw, to carry, whatever it is within that area is asur. From one to another, he says it's okay. To carry, to throw. There's no difference in carrying and throwing, really. It just means within that area, it's also to carry or to throw. So Rav Nachman is saying that you're not allowed to, if you set up these mechitzos on Shabbos, on purpose, you're not allowed to carry, we have to punish you. It's a knas. It's a good mechitzah, but it's a knas. But Taisus points out that this line in the Gemara, and this is very important to chap, This line in the Gemara, Kidmin the Rav Nachman Amazed Itmar, is not in all cases. On the case of machzelas, of setting up shab in the middle of Rishus Rabim, if you do this b'mezid, you can't carry here. But on two ships, that the Rishus is there anyways, it's a Rishus HaYachid and Rishus HaYachid. You're not doing anything. All you're doing is you're tying them together, allowing a mechitza d'Rabbanan, allowing an erev d'Rabbanan, that they didn't punish for. Rav Nachman didn't say his halacha. You hear? Two ships that are both a Rishus HaYachid. And what are you doing? You're putting them together on Shabbos, you're tying them together so that you should be able to carry from one to another. I don't know what that picture is. Fine.
It's supposed to be ships tied together.
Ships tied together. I'm not, you guys, you're not in the Bismerish, I'm not going to show you. Come down here, you'll see. So that is mutter. Says the Gemara. Omar Shmuel. Va'afilu kshurois, yeah? Ki itmar de Rav Nachman, amazed itmar. Omar Shmuel. Va'afilu kshurois b'chut asarbal. You can take two ships and tie them with a drawstring. Let's say, imagine you have a sweatshirt and it has like the string, the drawstring. You could tie your ship. I'm not sure what it'll do to how you're going to tie your cruise ship like that. But let's say it works, it works. Heichidami. Ask the Gemara, if it's strong enough that it could actually grab it and it won't run away. Pshita. So what's the chiddush that you can't use? I would think you can't use your draw. Why not? And if it's very weak, it's a thread and it's going to just snap away. Amai, why is that enough to allow me to carry from one ship to another? Says the Gemara, Shmuel is going to say a big chiddush that he himself said somewhere else in a completely different sugya, nothing to do with us. But over there he said you have to use a metal chain. So comes Shmuel and says, yes, over there I say you have to use a metal chain, but by us you could even use a thread, a string, whatever works. This not. So real quickly, going back to Hilchas Tumah. You have a corpse. A corpse is considered, Reuven, I don't know if there might be a better one than this. I couldn't really find, I forgot where, I just pulled one out. Might be a nicer one. A corpse is Avi Avos HaTumah. A corpse touches another person, it becomes an Avatuma. The Avatuma, it just keeps on going down level by level, it gets weaker and weaker, the Tumah. Avi Avos makes it Avatuma. Avatuma makes a Rishon Latuma, which means the Avatuma can make a Kli a Rishon. But a Rishon cannot make another Kli a Rishon. Can't make another person, can't make another Kli a Rishon. Okay, so says the Gemara, here's the case. You have an oil. You have a dead person in red. It's on an overhang. In the overhang, you have a metal chain, an iron chain that is holding a boat made out of whatever. So this iron chain becomes exactly like the corpse. Says Shmuel, it has to be iron, it has to be metal. Why? Because it's in an oil amaze, and it's like a mace, as the Gemara is going to describe, that metal becomes like the dead person. Metal that touches a dead person becomes Avi Avos HaTumah. So if this chain is Avi Avos HaTumah, touches the boat, what does the boat become? Avatuma. And Avatuma can make these not to, what is it called? Not to scale, because look at the boat, and the glass on the boat is the size of the boat almost. It makes the kalim on the boat a rishon. But if this chain wasn't metal, so now we have to take it down a step. There's oil amace. This chain becomes avatuma. Not Avi Avos HaTumah like a metal chain. It's not like the corpse. It's one step down, avatuma. So avatuma makes the boat a rishon. A rishon cannot make a kli a sheni. So if it's made out of metal, the kli inside becomes tamei. If it's made out of just a regular drawstring like we're talking about, then the kli does not become tamei. In our sugi, we don't care what it's made out of. It could be made out of a drawstring from a shirt. It doesn't make a difference. This nan kosher b'davar hamamida. If you tie the boat and something strong that holds it tight, maybe like tumah, it could bring the tumah. It drags the tumah from the oil, from this overhang, all the way into the boat. B'davar she'mamida, a maybe la tumah. V'amar Shmuel, what does that mean? Vushik shura b'shal shelish or barzel. It has to be metal. Liyan tumah d'chsiv b'chalal cherev. That the cherev, the sword, meaning any metal, has the halacha of the actual corpse. Cherev areu kechala. In Avali in Shabbos, given the yochel ha'amida by Shabbos, since I could just make the boat not move. Without metal, I could do it with a very thick rope. Afilu b'chut hasarbel. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the string from your shirt, provided that it keeps the boat in place. We don't care. All we care is that the boat should not move. We're not talking about Tumah, so it doesn't have to be made out of metal. So that's what Shmuel's saying. Over there in Oyalim, I said it has to be metal. Over here, I'm saying it could be chut hasarbel. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. No shomea. You better give. Shem alois mimama kim chosicha adinoi. Adinoi shema b'koili. This is like a Shabbos to go down Hanoi. Imam Enes Shmo Ya Adinoi Mi Amoid. Mchaz the Bodem Antivorei. Kivisa Adonai Kivson Avshi V'Vorei Chalti. Shel Adonai. Shoyim Laboike, Shoyim Laboike. Kivisa Adonai Kivson Adonai Chesed V'Abei Kedos.